Right, hello everyone. So you've probably heard that BattleBots Season 5 of the reboot is filming in October. It is finally happening after all of the uncertainty with the coronavirus and travel restrictions and whatnot. It's finally happening. It's filming in October. It'll probably be released sometime in November, December. But it is actually happening and I am so excited. There's going to be about 63 teams there or something like that. Quite a lot actually, more than I expected, because there were 85 originally promised, but unfortunately a lot of the teams originally promised have had to back out, either because of travel restrictions or just concerns over their own safety and all of that. However, they have made room for new machines that weren't originally accepted, so they're going to get their chance to shine. And so there's been a lot of robots, unfortunately, that haven't been able to travel to the USA or around the USA due to travel restrictions. And today we are going to go through the list of robots that unfortunately have confirmed that they are not competing. Starting off with Ripper from Team Roaming Robots, one of the two British flippers that was accepted into the season. They unfortunately confirmed that they had to bow out of the series, which is a shame. I was really looking forward to see Ripper in BattleBots. I think they've been rejected before, so they were finally going to BattleBots, and it's all gone wrong for them. Hopefully, though, they said that they might reapply for next season if there is a next season, and I really hope they do, because Ripper is awesome. Then we have Orion, and I know loads of people are gutted about this, including the team. Orion is the same team that built Vulcan from King of Bots and Apollo from Robot Wars. They also host Robots Live, I believe. Orion was basically a combination of like Vulcan and Orion, but with flamethrowers, and unfortunately it's not going to be able to make it. They're obviously a UK team, and they've had to back out, unfortunately. Cobalt as well, I'm pretty sure they said that they aren't competing. They've implied that they aren't coming. If Orion isn't going to make it, then I don't think Cobalt is either. I'm pretty sure the team confirmed it, but when I was researching this video I couldn't find where they said it, but Cobalt I don't think is going to be there. Moving on, we've got Monsoon, so we're going through the UK teams. Monsoon is... they've also confirmed that they're not going to be there, which is very sad, because their new design was like more compact and it had a vertical disc spinner and it looked awesome. They didn't have the greatest season in 2019, they were hoping to turn that around this year, but unfortunately they are not going to make it. Nelly the Alley-Bot follows the pattern of British teams not competing. I believe it was... I don't think it was just the fact that it was COVID. They also had like a split in the team, like an argument or something, and then Nelly got possessed by one of the team members, and then the rest of the team couldn't. I don't know, it was a very complicated mess. So Nelly the Alley-Bot unfortunately isn't going to be there. It had some decent power actually. I saw it at a live event and it was surprisingly powerful. And it was looking forward to seeing it, especially since it's got that new kind of spinner killer armor. It looks actually decently competitive now, which is very exciting because it's Nelly the Alley-Bot and no one thought that it would be this shockingly powerful, but it's got some power in that bunker. Hopefully we'll see them in 2021. As for the rest of the British teams that have been publicly confirmed, so that's Spitfire and Quantum and Winston Churchill and Abrasion, I don't think the teams have publicly said anything. I presume that they're not going to make it because basically there's like travel restrictions to the USA, and British teams would have to isolate for 14 days going to America, and then when they come back, so that's about a month in isolation, like in quarantine kind of, so it's just not worth it really if you've got work or you've got school. So I don't think Spitfire or Quantum or Winston Churchill or Abrasion are going to make it. I have heard that Beta might make it in. The team said that they might be able to make it there. That's very exciting, but unfortunately these teams probably won't. Moving on, we've got the Brazilian teams. So from last season, that's Minotaur and Black Dragon. The teams themselves haven't publicly confirmed that they're not going to make it, but Brazil has been hit quite hard, and Greg Munson himself said that the Brazilian teams probably won't be making it. Again, they have to go through the 14-day isolation process kind of thing, so it's probably not worth it for them either. Real shame, because they put on a great show last year, but I guess we'll just have to wait a little while to see them. Blade, the South Korean team, have confirmed that they aren't going to make it. They confirmed it a few weeks ago, which is a shame since it is an amazing machine. I was so looking forward to seeing it. It's just an amazing machine to watch. We saw it in King of Bots. Yeah, it would be the first Korean machine on BattleBots, but unfortunately they can't make it because of travel restrictions and the quarantine and all of that. It's just not worth it for them either. And I know most of the teams have to try and fit BattleBots into their schedule, and if like filming is rescheduled or there has to be quarantine and stuff, they can't sort of justify taking that much time off work, so it's understandable really. This is not an international team. Overhaul have said on Reddit that they aren't going to make it either, which is a shame. I think that's because the team is spread out across America, and then some of the team aren't going to make it, so they don't have enough manpower for the machine, which is a shame. Overhaul was looking amazing this year. It had like bigger wheels and it had a lot more lifting power. I know some people are going to be disappointed that it will not be competing. It is a shame. So Overhaul is not going to be there this season. Deathroll, the Deathroll team they said that Deathroll is not going to be competing either, which is understandable, since Australia, I think, had a resurgence in cases or something. So they have chosen not to attend, which is a massive shame, since Deathroll last year made it to the semi-finals, which is fantastic for... Well, it wasn't a newcomer, but, you know, it was a redesigned robot, very heavily redesigned, and it made it to the semi-finals, exceeded everyone's expectations, and everyone was looking forward to it coming back and having a go at the championship again, and unfortunately it's just not going to make it. Another machine that will probably not be competing is the Krusty Grab, and the Krusty Grab was going to be a lifting machine from New Zealand. It's the same team that built Endgame, but the team have said that they're bringing Endgame probably. I think they're the only international team so far, and so Endgame is probably going to be there unless the situation in New Zealand changes. Everything is subject to change on this list, of course. So they're originally going to bring 2 robots, but they only have enough manpower to bring 1. And it's going to be Endgame, obviously. So the Krusty Grab is going to have to sit the season out, which is unfortunate. As for the other international teams, the Indian teams I've not heard anything about. I believe it was Atom 64 that was going to compete, or Atom 94 or something. Not heard anything about them. Presumably they won't be competing. Obviously the Chinese teams, I don't think they were even in the running from the start, to be honest, because of all of the business that's been going on there. Jaeger I've not heard anything about, neither. I've not heard anything about Petunia or Ominous. Presumably though, the travel ban to Europe is still in effect. I believe teams from mainland Europe weren't able to make it because of a ban or something, so unfortunately those 3 teams are not going to be attending the season, probably. As for the Canadian teams, Greg Monsoon said that there will be a handful of them, which is why I haven't included any of them in this little section here. So we can probably say goodbye to Jaeger, Petunia and Ominous for now. Moving on to the American teams that have said that they won't be able to make it. Team Nightmare, obviously responsible for Nightmare and BreakerBox, not for COVID-related reasons, but they've just said that they just weren't going to compete this season. They haven't had the greatest success in the reboot, obviously. Like, BreakerBox didn't do too well, neither did Nightmare. They're legends in the sport, though, and it's a real shame that they aren't competing, but they said that they would still maybe have an exhibition match or 2 or help out around the event, which is good. But unfortunately, no Nightmare and no BreakerBox this season. Team Battlesaw confirmed, I believe before the pandemic actually started getting bad, that Battlesaw would not be able to make it, or they weren't accepted or something. They have said, however, we may see you guys in 2021, and that's interesting because BattleBots themselves said that many machines that were rejected this season are sort of being reapplied, kind of. So Battlesaw was originally said that they weren't going to make it, but BattleBots might have, I don't know, changed their mind about accepting Battlesaw, so we may or may not see Battlesaw. If we do, hopefully it's more reliable. Next up, we have Blacksmith. Yes, Greg Monsoon himself confirmed that 4 machines would not be competing, the first of which is Blacksmith. They confirmed themselves that they would not be competing, kind of just taking time out to redesign and stuff. did amazingly well last year, actually. Blacksmith made it to the top 16. Yeah, they were seeded 15th in the tournament bracket, obviously got annihilated by Witch Doctor, but it was great to see them have some success, especially after quite a frustrating season of judges' decisions before they made it to the top 16, so that was unfortunate that Blacksmith is not going to be there. Bombshell themselves, well, Greg Monsoon confirmed that Bombshell would not be competing. I can't find anywhere where Bombshell says that they aren't competing on their Facebook page or anything, but they have sort of implied that they're not going to be there, for example saying flashback to those BattleBots days. I'm guessing that means they're not going to be there, but yeah, so Greg Monsoon said that Bombshell wasn't going to be there, and I kind of agree with that, because Bombshell, obviously runner-up in 2016, it's just been on this sort of downhill spiral. Went 0-4 in its fight cards in 2018, scraped in on a really dodgy judge's decision, and then beat Tombstone and then lost to Lockjaw. And then in 2019, they didn't win anything. They went 0-4 again. So Bombshell probably just needs to take some time out to just redesign and come back with something even better than what they brought in 2016. The next machine that Greg Monsoon confirmed was not going to be there was Yeti, and I know a lot of people are disappointed about this. The big four-wheel drum spinner made it to semi-finals in 2016, made it to top 16 in 2018 and 2019. Unfortunately, it is not going to be there because it needs heavy redesigning, and the team are in the middle of like a move from Alaska to Florida, and they just don't have the time right now to be redesigning a whole combat robot and stuff. Which is fair enough, because Yeti in 2019, it did seem, I don't know, slightly rushed. It wasn't as sort of clean as the previous two versions. So I support their decision, and yeah, I look forward to seeing Yeti in the future, perhaps. The next team that confirmed they will not be competing is Bronco. Well, they didn't confirm this themselves. Again, it was Greg Monsoon, so I don't think anything's changed anyway. Bronco, and again, I completely understand this. Not because of travel restrictions or anything. I believe in 2019 they had a really bad season. Obviously, the team just weren't enjoying it or something like that. They just weren't into the competition at all. So if they're taking a time out to redesign Bronco or design a completely new machine, then I understand that. But they're just sitting this year out. It's a shame, because Bronco has always been a fan favourite, and it's a legend in the show now. And it'll be sad to have a season without them. Yeah. The next machines that are not going to be competing in 2020 is Son of Waiachi and Falcon as well, but mainly Son of Waiachi. Team Waiachi, they were planning to enter with 4 robots, but because of money and time, and I guess one team it's not really fair if you have 4 robots in one team, so they're just going to be bringing Hydra and their new machine Fusion, which you should go and check out. It's awesome. So yeah, they're not bringing Son of Waiachi back this season, and they're not bringing Falcon. Falcon was a bit of a disappointment, so I understand that. Son of Waiachi was a bit of a surprise to me, since it was having a reasonable degree of success again. So yeah, it's a bit of a shame that we won't be seeing Son of Waiachi. But Fusion and Hydra more than make up for the lack of these two machines. They are fantastic, Hydra and Fusion. They both look fantastic, and they perform fantastic as well. So excited to see them. And of course, the final machine that is not going to be competing, oh my goodness, it is BiForce. The reigning champ themselves have confirmed that they're not going to be here. And oh my goodness, everyone's going mad about this. Like, BiForce is not going to... 3-time world champion, defending champion, all people wanted to see was BiForce beaten, but no, they've just kind of... By the way, I completely support all of the decisions to withdraw from the competition for safety and whatever. I completely understand. Some people are happy about BiForce not returning. I'm not happy. I'm not really happy that it's not returning, because it's not good for the show, really, is it? I mean, it would make great television if, you know, a new bot like Death Roll just came out of nowhere, slaughtered the 3-time champion in kind of like David and Goliath kind of story, and then won the championship. Then it would feel like, you know, the giant has fallen, you know, the champ has fallen. But BiForce is not going to be there, so yeah, they will have to face the 2020 champion in 2021, I guess. So, again, don't treat 2020 like it's not a proper season. It is a proper season. It is Season 5. It's not Season 4.5. So whoever wins 2020, I just know that there's going to be people going, it didn't beat BiForce, so it's not the actual champion. It will be the actual champion. It's just it won't have beaten BiForce yet. Interestingly, one of the versions of BiForce is actually on sale right now. So if you have 20 grand spare, you can go and check that out. You can buy a version of BiForce. So I guess they're coming up with a new design for BiForce from a new robot completely, which is interesting. So I'll be looking forward to seeing what they come up with. Thank you very much for watching this video. It was a bit of a sad video today. A lot of teams, unfortunately, retiring, well, not retiring, just withdrawing from the competition. Hopefully BattleBots Season 5, actually, not hopefully, surely BattleBots Season 5 is still going to be an amazing series, lots of amazing robots competing, and yeah, I look forward to it. And thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.